Hello friends, myself Dr. Alka Mukherjee. I am a medical legal expert from Nagpur. Today I will be speaking on a very important topic, that is documentation and record maintenance in obstetrics and gynec. As we are very well aware of the fact that records are the mirror image of our action in the court of law. Hence, they have to be maintained with utmost care and vigilance. Gone are the days when the general practitioner used to maintain a notebook. Now the era is of computerized online case records. So here starts my topic, records and documentation in OBGYN. It is well said, it is not only what we do, but also what we do not do, for which we are accountable. Friends, a medical record is a documentation of medical and healthcare services provided to a patient at the direction of a physician, nurse or other caregiver. These records they include documentation of medical observations and opinions by these professionals, the treatment, the diagnosis, documentation, for example, X-rays, ECGs, pathological reports. They can be a paper record or electronic record or both. In short, a medical record is the who, what, why, where and when of a patient care in the hospital. They can be either a personal document which contains identity, history of illness, physical findings and treatment. It is confidential and may not be released even to the next of the kin without permission and authorization of the patient or to the legal agencies when ordered to do so by the courts of law. It can also be an impersonal document which contains data and information used for research purpose. If it is used only by physician or students, permission of the patient is not necessary, but the doctors are bound by professional secrecy. What is the importance of document? They say a man well prepared has already had fought the battle. Courts are not the courts of justice, they are the courts of evidences. And as per evidence law, the medical records are treated as primary evidence in the court of law. Court decides the case only on the evidences produced in front of it. The only evidence in case of medical professional documents are the documents. Good documents, good defense. Poor documents, poor defense. No documents, no defense. Though documentation is the most tedious job, but there is no excuse in doing that. What is the primary purpose of medical records? The first purpose is to provide means of communication among physicians, nurses and other allied health professionals. It serves as an easy reference for providing continuity in patient care. It is also helpful in quality review of patient care and documentary evidence of care provided by the establishment. It helps to protect patient, physician and institute in the event of litigation. It satisfies the legal and ethical obligation. It acts as an evidence. The dictum is people forget but records they remember. What are medical records? Anything pertaining to the patient during the course of treatment and a follow-up later on forms the medical record. They are outpatient, inpatient department papers, various investigation papers, image copies, nursing charts, discharge summaries, referral letters if any, certificates issued and also electronic records or images of the soft copies. Add to it the various forms such as A, B, C, D, E, F and so on which are legally required. Which documents need to be maintained? The medical records, the OPD case papers, the indoor case papers, the consents, the prescriptions, discharge card, investigations, referral notes, requests for investigation, reports of investigations, pathological tests, ECG, X-ray, CT scan, MRI, CDs or DVDs if you have taken, medical certificate if you have issued some, forms and registers. What are the different types of registers? This is the list of the registers: the OPD case register, indoor case register, nursing order book, operation theatre register, autoclaving, fumigation, biomedical waste register, PCP&DT register, MTP register, sterilization IUCD register, birth and death register, medical certificate book, drug register, vaccination register, MLC register, indoor case as per MCI guidelines, discharge card as per MCI guidelines, discharge against medical authorization certificate, files, gynecology and obstetrics, the death certificate, registers under different acts, labor laws, NH registration acts, etc. The indoor case papers, they should be fully written up, contemporaneous records with all details starting from registration form till the paginating the indoor case sheet and sending it to MRD department. Then how to document? The standard operating procedures SOP should be used, but only standard abbreviations they should be used. Notes should be objective and relevant, and writing should be legible. Here SOP stands for subjective history, objective physical examination, assessment of patient's condition, and plan for further investigation or treatment. When to document? As soon as you do a procedure or you visit a patient, you should document the event. Otherwise, we may forget to document what exactly we did. Where to keep the documents? Every hospital should have a MRD department or MRD room. Effort should be made to digitalize the records for quick retrieval. There are multiple agencies which help us to keep the record digitally by scanning. Certain do's and don'ts regarding documentation. The do's are: the documentation should be legible with timed entries, signing after each and every entry, making entries immediately, making objective comments, documenting the oral communications, documenting the informed consent, documenting any non-compliance on the part of patient, and stating the objections. The don'ts are: one should not use abbreviation, one should not use any offensive, humorous or personal comments, one should not use any ambiguous terms, or delete or alter the content of clinical notes. They should not be done. Coming to maintenance of medical records. Every physician shall maintain the medical records pertaining to his or her indoor patients for a period of 3 years from the date of commencement of the treatment in a standard pro forma laid down by MCI. If any request is made for medical records, either by the patient's authorized attendant or legal authorities involved, the same may be duly acknowledged, and document should be issued within the period of 72 hours. Coming to maintenance of medical records, a registered medical practitioner shall maintain a register of medical certificates giving full details of certificate issued. When issuing a medical certificate, he or she shall always enter the identification marks of the patient and keep a copy of the certificate. He or she shall not omit to record the signature or thumb mark, address, and at least one identification mark of the patient on the medical certificates or report. Effort shall be made to computerize medical records for quick retrieval. How to destroy documents? It's again very important. If you really want to destroy documents, get them scanned and stored in electronic formats so that they are stored forever and occupy a very small space. While destroying the records, you have to follow a particular procedure. You must give notice in a local newspaper, English or local language, that you are destroying records for a such and such period, and whosoever wants them can take them away in a stipulated time period. This is because the records have a property interest in it by the patients and they can claim any time. People forget and records remember. The primary purpose of medical records is to provide means of communication among physicians, nurses and other allied health professionals. It also serves as an easy reference for providing continuity in patient care. It is also helpful in quality review of the patient care and documentary evidence of care provided by the establishment. It helps to protect patient, physician and institute in the event of litigation. How long to keep the records? They say indoor case paper records for 3 years, outpatient for 2 years. All required registers like OT register, fumigation register for 2 years. For medico-legal cases until demanded by the courts or till the case is decided. Obstetric records should be preferably stored for 21 years. PCP entity records for 2 years and MTP records for 5 years after the last entry in the register. Under different acts, Consumer Protection Act says keep the record for 2 years. Civil litigation they say 3 years. Income tax say 8 years, 6 years from the assessment year. Criminal laws, there is no limit. ICMR guidelines 10 years and then to be submitted to registry. FOXI guidelines at least for 5 years and MCI guidelines for 3 years. Records pertaining to obstetrics they are very important because we handle additional records such as antenatal care register, delivery register, neonatal papers, birth information reports, preconception and prenatal diagnostic technique registers and MTP registers. It is recommended that all records pertaining to birth to be preserved for 21 years. You may safely destroy MTP and PCP and DT records after stipulated limit, but intrapartum records must be meticulously preserved, including partographs, cardiotocography, ultrasound soft copies or printouts. Is there anything like ideal record? Nothing is there like ideal record, but they must be maintained in a way suitable to that particular establishment and one's own working pattern. They should reflect your way of working and discipline you follow. The only requirement is the uniformity in keeping the records your way. They must be clean, legible, chronologically ordered, overwriting and scratching should not be there. Also remember, too scanty documentation is dangerous as well as excessive documentation is equally dangerous. Court will question incomplete and scanty documents and may try to fill in the blanks by themselves. And if excessive record keeping is noticed, applicant may try to prove that they are fabricated records. Record keeping, it is an art. There are more than 150 acts applicable to one clinical establishment. Some are known, some are unknown to common practitioner. It is advisable to keep one box file for each act. All relevant papers of that particular act are to be kept in that one box file so that whenever asked for they can be easily retrieved. Day-to-day update of the files is necessary. Coming to electronic records. MCI recommends going electronic way. The advantages are multiple. They are valid in the court of law with certain criteria as defined in Indian Evidence Law Act. They are easy to generate and can be stored indefinitely. They can be retrieved and analyzed easily. But the disadvantages is that they can be discredited easily because they can be tampered with easily. Sometimes forensic evaluation is needed to prove their authenticity. Fabrication of records. Records can be prepared, can be changed, can be modified or authored to prove our innocence and suit litigation. But please be remember that it amounts to fabrication of evidence and is a violation of Indian Evidence Act as well as Indian Penal Code. So try to keep the records timely, legible, uncomplicated and as clean as possible so that they cannot be discredited easily. Secondly, tampering of the records can be detected very easily and this discredits the doctor in particular and medical fraternity in general. Recently, one reputed hospital has been penalized for fabrication of records. Certain extra tips: keep the records of visiting doctors in their own handwriting or signed by them. Keep originals in your custody and give photocopy if demanded. Avoid overwriting. Alteration should never be done. Altered notes can lead to loss of credibility. Additions with fresh date and time are allowed. Every page should contain the name and registration number of the patient. Date and time should be mentioned at each entry. Every doctor writing notes has to sign at the end with the name. So what is the role of documentation in litigation? It is the first of all we communicate with the patient which should be documented, then communication of documentation and documentation of communication not documented, not done. Sloppy documentation leads to sloppy care. So to conclude with, good documentation, it reflects good patient care. Good documentation overall improves the quality of medical establishment, saves doctor in the court of law. Records should be kept tidy, clean, legible and in chronological order and indexed manner. They should be completed as early as possible because there are chances of error if completed at a later date. Unnecessary alteration, addition, deletion, overwriting of the notes should be avoided because such alteration can be detected very easily. Doing so, records can be discredited and one is left with no defense. So documents should be accurate, complete, legible and free of extraneous information. Remember, patient and patient's authorized person have a property interest in the records and copies must be issued to them on demand within 72 hours. Do not mention a disease which cannot be proved or substantiated with investigations. And clinical findings, amniotic fluid embolism is the most quoted cause of sudden death of which there is no clinical or lab evidence. One should always remember records are the best defense, incomplete records is a poor defense and no record is no defense. Thank you so much.